And now the next case.
All parties in the matter, Carpenter versus Young. Step forward, please.
Customer service manager Andrew Carpenter is suing his ex-girlfriend, clerk Rhonda Young, for the unpaid balance on a car loan. Rhonda says as soon as they broke up, the deal went sour.
Miss Young was your girlfriend. She came to you at some point and said she was having some financial difficulties. She fell behind in her car payments. According to you, you loaned her money, some $800 and change, to make 2 car payments. So far correct?
Yes.
And she didn't pay you back any of that money?
No.
Then she was in more financial trouble, so you agreed to take out a second mortgage on your house.
Yes.
And loan her enough money to pay off the car loan so she wouldn't have any more stress. And the agreement was she was going to pay you $200 a month for 5 years until her loan to you was satisfied. So far, right?
Yes.
Is that pretty accurate so far?
Yes, ma'am.
When did she pay the car off?
She sent a cashier check on the 9th of December.
Okay, so in December. So her first payment was due in January.
Yes.
And according to you, she didn't make January's payment.
Yes.
She did make February and March, but not January.
Yes.
So on April 1st, you took back the car.
Yes.
And you still have the car.
Yes.
But you say you've had it appraised for what you could sell it for. And it comes up a little short of what she owes you if you went to sell it. So you want her to pay the difference now.
Yes. I gave her a piece of paper also stating that she could make payment arrangements and contact me on paying this difference amount, and she said, no, see you in court.
Well, at this point, she's correct, sir, because you don't have fixed damages. Let us say, under the scenario that you have just outlined, I find her in breach of that contract, which enables you to take back the car. Did you make January's payment?
At the time we were going to go on a ski trip, he told me not to worry about it. I went ahead and sent it. And I said, okay, are you sure? He goes, go ahead and do it like that. But, you know, I'm going to have you write me checks after that, send them to my house, and I will send it to the mortgage company. So I did complied exactly what he wanted.
You didn't make January's payment. You made February and March. And
Yes,
when
ma'am.
did you break up, by the way?
The end of January.
And you didn't take the car back in February or March?
That is correct.
Not until April. So let us assume that I find that she breached the agreement by not making January's payment, and you had every right to take back the car. And your plan is to sell it, right?
Yes.
You have to do that. You have to sell it so that the damages that you have are fixed. How much did you loan her for the car?
$10,000.
And let's say you actually sell it and get $8,000 for the car, leaving $2,000 balance.
Yes.
And she has made 2 payments to you so far of $400.
Yes.
Which means she owes you $1,600.
What about the two car payments?
And the 2 car payments if I find that that was a loan,
She said she'd pay back.
along with this money, because you were her boyfriend. I'm not persuaded about these 2 car payments. But let's say you sell the car for $9,000. Say you find some sucker who's willing to give you an extra $1,000. That means that your damages are only $600. So when I say you don't have fixed damages yet, Mr. Carpenter, you haven't sold the car.
Correct.
Do we understand each other?
Yes.
So your action here is premature, and it is dismissed without prejudice until you go and sell the car. Got it?
Got it.
Perfect.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think it went well. You know, I could have worked something out with this gentleman. He just got a little crazy.
She was working 2 jobs at the time,
He would show up at places and make scenes.
so I thought I'd help her out so she only had to work 1 job.
He left notes and stuff on my car.
Never lend anybody money again.
I didn't want to be with him, and he wanted to make me suffer.
And now the next case.
All parties on Jameson versus Rogers. Step forward, please.
Taxi dispatcher Christine Jameson is suing her sister, bookkeeper Lisa Rogers, and Lisa's husband, Kent, for the return of belongings that she had stored. Lisa says Christine is a drug addict.
Miss Jameson, the defendant, Miss Rogers, is your sister, and this is your husband?
Yes.
This is not a very difficult case. Let me just get to it. Miss Jameson, it is your claim that your sister has your stuff. She took your stuff when you went to jail. For a period of time, she won't give you back your stuff. You want $5,000. Your sister says you can have your stuff whenever you want it. It's in storage. All you have to do is pay the storage fee, because she's not paying for it anymore. And the reason you're annoyed with her and this whole thing started is because she recently adopted your 3 children, and the adoption was finalized in February of this year. Is that right?
Yes.
How old are the 3 children?
11, 10, and 9.
How long have they been in your physical custody?
Since 98.
Were they given to you by the courts?
Yes.
Your sister's parental rights were terminated.
Yes.
Okay. Why were you in jail the last time when your sister took your property at your request?
They said that I was under the influence.
So it was a drug-related arrest.
Yeah. But as soon as they found out that I was clean, they let me out of prison and off parole.
Fine. How long were you in prison?
A week and a day.
And when was that?
It was February 13th.
Where's your stuff?
In storage, I guess.
Her stuff in storage?
In storage, yes.
All of the stuff. Where did you get it
Everything.
from?
She was living with my father in a mobile home. Everything was taken out of the mobile home because he was evicted due to her drug trafficking.
All I'm asking you is, her stuff was taken out, furniture, clothes, everything else.
Everything was put in storage.
Did you tell her that you put it in a storage unit?
No.
When did she find out that you put it in a storage unit?
The day she got out,
Which was,
the 21st of February. I picked her up.
why didn't you take it out the 21st of February?
Because it's in her name.
Did she
And-
go up there with you once?
Yes, April 7th.
What happened on April 7th?
I opened the storage and told her to take what she wanted. She took a small box of makeup. That was it. She didn't have room to put anything else.
Fine. Very, very simple. The court will issue an order that as soon as you pay the storage fees, Ms. Jameson, you can go and get anything you want out of that. You can empty it out, and you are going to do that within 5 days. Is that
I can
fine?
do
Then
it
you can get
today.
all your stuff. Why?
I can do it today.
Fine.
They have to be there,
Perfect.
though.
Will you put your hand down? Will you sign and notarize a letter that she is entitled, as soon as she pays all the storage fees, to go in and take whatever she wants out of storage?
Fine.
What about my jewelry she has?
Do you have any of her jewelry?
Yes, I do.
What jewelry do you have?
I have a bag of jewelry.
Go put it
I
over.
paid $100 for this so she would not pawn it.
Listen
No.
to me. Listen
No.
to me. Give it to her. You don't want to bother.
I don't want any part of it.
Bird, take the jewelry. Give it back to her.
What about my $100 I gave her for that?
You have 3 nice children?
Oh, yeah, of course I did.
Terrific.
Thank you.
You got the jewelry back. You go get your stuff as soon as you can pay for it. I'm telling you that she doesn't have to maintain the storage anymore after next month.
That's
Listen
fine.
to me very carefully, which means the storage company has the ability to snip the lock and take your stuff and throw it in the garbage. So you have 48 hours, because you said you can do it today. So you
Yes.
have 2 days to go there. Pay for the storage. I don't know how much it is.
What about my dad? Doesn't he have to pay half? Half of it says she put it in there. I didn't ask her to.
You want your stuff back?
Yeah,
You
I
pay
want
the
it all back.
storage. Do you
Okay,
understand?
That's fine.
Good. How much is storage?
$395.
You have the money?
Yes, I have the money.
Good.
Do I get everything that's in the storage?
Get everything that's yours in the storage.
I have pictures of her items.
Then she would have to have my dad pay for his other half. Why should I pay the full storage?
She's not having her dad pay for anything.
well-
You have to pay $395 if you
Okay.
want to get your stuff out of storage today. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Period. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
This proof, all she wants is money.
I mean, all I wanted was my stuff. I didn't want the money. I just wanted my stuff.
She got thrown in jail and got her father kicked out at the same time, so we moved everything into storage so she wouldn't lose it. And now she's trying to sue us.
She's always been like this through we were little. She's always been jealous of me.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Electrician Jason Stries is suing his ex-wife, Charla Stries, for child support costs. Jason says he has custody of Charla's daughter from a previous marriage. Charla is countersuing, claiming Jason won't let her see her kids.
Your Honor, this is case number 50 on the calendar in the matter of Stries versus Stries. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. Stries, the defendant is your former wife.
Correct.
How long were you married?
All together, about 6 years.
And you have a child together,
Correct.
boy or a girl.
Girl.
And you have custody of that child.
Correct.
And Mrs. Stries has a child from a previous relationship. How old is that child?
9.
And you also have physical custody of that child.
That's true.
And how long have you had physical custody of both children?
Both children, about 2.5 years, maybe a little bit longer.
Is that when the two of you separated 2.5 years ago?
No, we actually separated in August of '99. And then when we separated, a short amount of time went by, and then she left the area with Felicia and Cameo to Arizona. And then I flew down and got the children in her and drove back in her car. And from that point on, I've had the children.
Did she remain with you,
No, she stayed about 2 months, and then she drove back.
leaving you with both children?
Correct.
And you've had them ever since?
Yes.
Your lawsuit says that your former wife receives child support for the older child from
Correct.
the older child's father.
That's right.
And you have not gotten that money.
No.
And the child's been in your custody. So you are suing her for that money.
Correct.
Not child support that she should pay you for your daughter and her daughter.
No.
She doesn't pay you any child support, I assume.
Well, she's starting to now. There's an order in place.
But prior to that,
Yeah.
she hadn't given you any support for your daughter.
No.
And she hadn't given you the support money that she collects for Cameo.
No.
And that's what your lawsuit is for. Not for the support for your daughter for the last 2.5
right.
years, but only for the money that she collects from Cameo's father.
That's right.
Mrs. Stries says that you agreed to let her keep that money because she gave up spousal support. That's your defense. Is that right?
Yeah, yes.
How much were you collecting for the 2 years that Cameo was in Mr. Stries' custody?
Well, it's originated as $239 a month, and then, but if he didn't work a whole month, then, you know, I only got a portion of that, so it was generally about $185 a month.
You want to explain to me, Ms. Stries, what your defense is? This about waiving spousal support? Tell me about it.
Okay, well, this all started, I needed to get into acquaintance with my biological father after my mother died. And I tried to get Jason to move to Arizona a few times, and he didn't seem too anxious to do that. And I started going through depression and all kinds of feelings of loss and stuff, and I was not myself at all. And I decided that I needed to go be with my family and get to know my biological father. Well, I moved in with my biological father with my 2 children, and I didn't realize that I was walking into a life of hell. I basically moved into a house that was full of drugs. I didn't know this until after I got to Arizona. You know, I mean, I was unaware of it at all. And I got to Arizona, and the house was just,
okay,
you know,
so it was a bad situation.
Very bad. And I
that was 1999.
Right, I was very stuck.
Let's fast
there.
forward.
I was very stuck because my car broke down and I couldn't work. And so I decided that, you know, I started getting into the drugs, and I decided that the best thing for me to do for my children were to bring them back to their dad.
Good.
Because
so
I knew he was a good father.
That's what you did.
Right, but I had to go back down to Arizona to testify to a hearing down there.
About what?
About a drug situation that went on in the house.
Let's get to your defense to this action.
Okay. The reason I haven't
the
sent
reason
him
you
the
kept
checks,
the money
right,
is
because he was telling me to go ahead and keep them, because he said that he wanted his wife to be supported by some kind of money.
Is that what you said to her?
That's not true. You got to understand, it was a little bit of a precarious situation because I had custody of a daughter that I'm not a biological parent for, and under her situation that she was currently involved with, I was afraid to force the issue because the father might step in, and I had no contact with him. For a long time, he had no idea that I had the kids.
What you're suggesting is that you felt threatened that either the biological father or the defendant would come back to take Cameo if you pressed the issue of the money.
Very much.
Is that right?
I was very, very frightened of that, yes.
Very good. Then what changes that now?
I've spoke with the father, and he knows what's going on.
Then you should have spoken to him before, Mr. Stries. I was very sympathetic for you when I read your papers, and I said he's absolutely entitled to that money. But if what you're telling me is for 2.5 years you decided to forego that, it's not fair now to say, well, I spoke to the father, he's well aware of the situation, he doesn't want custody, and therefore I can go against her for the money. That's really what you're doing.
That's
right?
correct.
Well, you can't do that. That's unfair.
That's unfair?
Yes, it's unfair. If you had put her on notice immediately and said, I want the money that you want, put your hand down. I want the money that you're getting for Cameo, because that's the right thing to do.
I see your point.
You do see my point.
I see your point.
And if you didn't do that because you wanted to keep things quiet and you lulled her into the sense of, well, I'm going to be able to keep this money because he wants to keep things quiet. I mean,
That's not true.
Who are you?
I'm sorry.
Who are you?
My name is Donna.
Who are you to this?
I'm a witness.
Who are you to this case?
I'm a witness to the plaintiff.
Are you his girlfriend?
I guess you can call me that.
I'm not interested in hearing from you. Didn't I make that clear by not acknowledging you?
That's a lie.
Do you understand what I just said?
Yes, I do.
And I want to explain something further to you. These are not your 2 children.
That's correct.
Don't get involved. Do you understand?
They live with me.
I don't care. Don't get involved.
Fine.
That's a big mistake. It's between these 2 people, not you. So you get my point?
I get your
You
point.
lulled her into a false sense of security, and I don't care how much she's given you this prodding, and say you got to get the money back from her. The smart thing to do is nothing. Now she's sending support. The father is aware of the situation. You want to sue him for support? Fine.
To him?
Yes, of course.
For back support?
No.
Okay.
Prospective.
Okay.
Back support you pay.
All right. That's going on right now.
Fine. Good. Then, as far as the other money is concerned, it's gone. Kiss it to God. It never happened. We understand each other?
Yes.
Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It's not her fault you got involved with the drug culture and people who commit murder and people who sell drugs and are trying to put your life back in order. An innocent person shouldn't have to suffer because of what a guilty person did.
And later today,
When were you divorced?
It was during summertime.
I know the hour and the second.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jason Stries claims ex-wife Charla Stries owes for the cost to support her child. Jason says he has custody because Charla has a drug problem.
Now, let's get to your nonsense counterclaim. I'll hear you. 30 seconds.
It is nonsense. I'm just trying to get back on my feet. And I've been trying to do that since I came back in August. And I had to go down to Arizona for another situation that I was in. Someone killed someone with a knife of mine, and I had to go testify.
Ms. Stries, are your two daughters in a good situation for them?
Well, yes.
The answer is they are. The answer is they are.
Right.
In a good situation for them. Stable? Certainly your younger daughter is going to stay with her father. There isn't any question about that unless some family court judge has not eaten a full breakfast. And you should, as the child's mother, have reasonable contact with this child.
Right.
Cameo's a different story.
Right.
The law is more complicated with regard to Cameo because Cameo is not Mr. Stries' biological child. However, I am sure that a court will look at the facts in this case and could very well determine that there are extenuating circumstances. The fact that you are the child's biological parent is not necessarily dispositive of the issue.
Right.
Which, in all probability, should happen because these two little girls have spent their lives together. Mm-hmm. And to pull one away would be really cruel. And you don't want to be a cruel
parent. That's why I don't have her now. Because when I came back, I could have taken her. Because there was no law and order set in that he got custody of her.
Does he now have a legal order of temporary custody?
He does at the moment, yes.
Good.
But that was because I did not want to pull her away from her sisters or her dad.
Well, what I'm telling you is, you think long and hard. You know, an innocent person shouldn't have to suffer because of what a guilty person did. And your daughter Cameo has been with her sister her whole life.
Right.
This is the only family she knows.
Right.
It's not her fault you got involved with the drug culture and people who commit murder and people who sell drugs and are trying to put your life back in order. May take you another year or so to do that, and that would be half of her life that she spent.
Right.
So you have to think about the child's best interests involved. And the child's best interest probably involves spending at least her minority with Mr. Stries, with seeing you regularly if you get your life together.
Right.
That's why you're supposed to do nothing to interfere with that.
I have a lot of evidence that I've been getting my life in order.
I'm not interested in evidence. As long as you started out by saying to me, Mrs. Stries, that your counterclaim for emotional distress was nonsense, I'm willing to accept that because I don't have to deal with nonsense. Mr. Stries, it looks to me as if you've done the right thing, like you've acted responsibly, like you're doing a good job with these two girls, like everything is calm. That's the way you got to keep them, right?
That's right.
You're getting support now from her, just started.
Just started,
You're going to get support from Cameo's father.
Correct.
As long as he's still in the picture?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Why?
He's making my recovery impossible. He's never letting me see my kids when he's supposed to. He's changing the days.
You have a court order for visitation?
Not with my oldest daughter, because it's just a temporary thing. And I was supposed to be visiting her on Wednesdays and Saturdays until I got through my treatment. I'm through with my treatment now.
Do you now have an order of visitation for both of your girls?
No. Well, see, one thing that happened is the divorce finalization went on, and I never even knew it was happening.
What you have to do, Mrs. Stries, is seek a court order of visitation.
Okay.
Let me tell you what's going to happen when you seek a court order of visitation with both girls. They will assign a law guardian, a good judge will assign a law guardian to represent the interests of both children. And it may be that especially your older daughter, maybe your younger one too, going to involve a period of time of adjustment, seeing you with a therapist, seeing you under controlled circumstances, getting to know that they can rely on every Wednesday or every Saturday seeing their mother. If their father is a smart man, and I think he is, he has to understand that growing up without any contact with their mother is a very bad thing for them long term. Now, you may get some flack from that from your girlfriend, but I'm telling you that's being short-sighted if that happens, because long-term children should not feel deserted by a parent. They can understand as they get older that their mother may have had a drug problem, and that she's cleaned it up, and that she did the best that she could for them by letting them stay with you, but she still loves them and she's still in their life. That's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
That may be taking a hard swallow on your part. You understand?
I understand exactly what you're saying.
Okay, good. I somehow thought you would. You need a set order, not something that you work out together. You need an order of the court that says, this is when you go, this is when you pick them up, this is when you drop them off, this is when you see them, this is a therapist that you're going to see them with, so that you have some understanding. He should not interfere with your recovery, but you have to be proactive. Okay?
Yeah.
Good. That's all. Thank you.
Party's not excused. You may step out.
She is in the children's life right now.
I would like my children back with me.
I understand she has problems.
That my kids get what they need.
And I have hopes that she'll work those out.
And they get to be with both of their parents.
And that eventually everything will go a lot more peacefully.
Without all this riffraff in the middle.
She's claiming that I'm making things hard for her.
I mean, he used to be my best friend, you know?
I really do believe that she's made it hard on herself.
He claimed it then, now he seems like my enemy almost.
My hope that things will continue to improve.
I want to be in my children's life, you know?
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Johnson versus Turner Hall. Step forward.
19-year-old student Courtney Johnson is suing former friends, 19-year-old Justin Turner and 20-year-old Stanley Hall, for causing her to be homeless during spring break.
You were going on spring break. They had a hotel room or a motel room. You and your girlfriend decided that you would sort of tag along and ask if you could share the hotel or motel room with them. So far, is that pretty accurate?
Mm-hmm.
They said, okay, but you're really not supposed to be here. You'll give us some money and we'll all stay together as long as we can. So far, right?
Correct.
You gave them how much?
175.
Okay, they say 164, you say 175, let's say $175. And the $175 was for how many days?
For 6 nights.
For you alone?
Yes.
Then somebody, either you or your girlfriend, went and asked for some towels. And the manager of the hotel or motel said, I rented this room to 4 guys, and this is a girl asking for some towels. You got to get out. Pretty accurate?
Right. Yeah.
You want your money back. Not only do you want your money back, $175, but you want the food that you bought, because you brought food into the room.
Correct.
That they ate. And you want money for your emotional distress.
Correct.
Get over it. That's what you get for your emotional distress. My words. Get over it. You get the same for the food. The only thing we're going to talk about here is $175. Who's going to talk for this team over here?
I'll talk.
And your name is?
Justin Turner.
Justin. You kept $175.
Correct.
Right? You can't keep $175. The $175 was for 6 nights, right? She only stayed there how many nights, Justin?
1.
So why should you keep her $175?
We knew going into it that usually you have wristbands to stay at the hotel, and there was a risk that we might not all be able to stay there. So there was no disagreement that if she got kicked out, she lost her money. If we would have got kicked out, I don't believe we would have got our money either from her.
You didn't give her any money, Justin.
No.
You stayed there. How many nights?
3, 4.
So you left early?
Right. We had
Why?
to leave early. One of the people that came with us was a driver. He had problems with his car and some other stuff, and he had to go home.
But it wasn't anybody's fault that you left. Nobody threw you out.
Got it.
What do you do, Justin?
I'm a student, and I play football.
Student where?
University of Louisville.
Can you divide 175 by 6 in your head?
About $40-some.
I couldn't do it either. My calculator said that it's about $29.
$30.
You all right? May I say something?
Sure.
The room was $823.62. We came about where it'd be mainly about $170 a night. So basically, each person was paying $170 a night. So that's where that came from.
Are you following that, Officer Byrd? What he's saying is they decided that each person would spend $175 and pay for 1 night at the motel. And that would take care of their share for the entire 6 nights. Therefore, she stayed at the hotel 1 night, $175. Are you getting it now?
I get it.
Are you getting it now?
I get it.
Okay. I feel like I'm doing one of those Jay Leno bits, you know, when he goes jaywalking with people, right? I don't want to deal with it. When you get him outside, try to explain it to him. Listen, from the $175, we deduct $30. $145. That's what you get back. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. Perfect. Goodbye.
Party's not excused. You may step out.
I paid to stay with these guys for a week. Whenever I got kicked out, I had no alternative plan.
They just trying to help him out, trying to give him a thing, a place to stay, but they want to abuse it by going downstairs and exposing themselves to the management, to which where we was penalized, and they got kicked out.
They could have went to Florida without me. One of the people that they were supposed to go with them left or was not able to go with them, so if it wasn't for me and the other girl that went with me, they wouldn't even been going.
She said that if we couldn't go unless they could go, but she didn't say that she could go unless we went.
Make your plans in advance. If things don't work out, don't go.
24-year-old file clerk Barbie Smith is suing 22-year-old student Angeline Romero for damages resulting from a road rage assault.
Yeah, this is case number 45 on the calendar, the matter of Smith versus Romero. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Ms. Smith, it is your claim that the defendant assaulted you while you were crossing a street.
Yes,
You were
ma'am.
crossing the street, she was driving her car. Ms. Romero, who you didn't know prior to this incident, says that whatever she did, she acted in self-defense. So why don't you tell me when this happened?
The date was January 28th. It was a Tuesday, about 8:50 in the morning.
January 28th of 2003 at 8:50 a.m.
Yes.
And where did it happen?
On the corner of Cherokee and Bayard.
All right, and what were you doing there?
I was getting off the bus going to school, and I proceeded to cross the street.
How wide is the street?
I have exactly the pictures right here.
Thanks, Bert. Okay, I see where you got off the bus and I see the street. So tell me what happened.
I proceeded to cross the street. I was halfway there. All of a sudden I heard honking, just honking, and she proceeded to push on the gas and bump my knee. And
were you walking slowly?
No, I wasn't. I was walking my normal. I did it every day. And
who do you live with, Miss Smith?
I live by myself with me and my kids.
How many children do you have?
3.
And how do you support yourself?
I'm a file clerk right now.
Okay, do you get any sort of disability?
No. But I am currently going through therapy ever since this happened.
Prior to this happening?
Prior to this happening.
Whatever. Sorry.
Before this happened, were you getting any treatment?
No. Before
any
this.
medication?
No. And I traveled that road. I traveled that road every time.
So you're crossing the street and she hit your knee with the car. And then what happened?
As soon as I got on the phone with the cops.
You got on the phone or she did?
No. As soon as I grabbed the phone from the passerby who said she was going to call the cops, she reached into her car and threw a bottle at my chest and then took off. She just took off. I got her license plate number, though, and that's when I had called the cops. I got a police report.
Can I see it, please? Who was this lady who's with you?
This is my mother. She,
Okay, I just wanted to know. She wasn't there that day?
No. But she saw bruises on me from the bottle. She had to take me to school because I was so scared to catch the bus because nothing like this ever happened to me, and I was just a pedestrian. It could happen to anybody. She was just, I guess, having a bad day and took it out on me.
Did you seek medical treatment?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Can I see the medical report, please?
And I am currently still having back pains and going through therapy. I think I missed about a week of school after that. I couldn't even go to school that day because I was so traumatized of what she did to me. And any other time I would have been very, very aggressive towards her. I didn't even touch this lady. All we did was argue. She's the one that assaulted me. And
okay.
I feel so traumatized.
All right, Mr. Romero, now I'll hear you.
Okay, she was in the middle of the street. There was no signs or, you know, she was just in the middle of the street.
Look
I was
at me.
driving,
Look at me.
Sorry. I was driving. I honked at her so she could get out of the street. She then walks up to my car, hits my car with her hand. So, you know, I get out of my car partially so I could tell her to get out of the way. Then she starts cussing at me, talking trash to me. So a lady comes and says, I'm going to call the cops on you. You guys break it up. So I'm getting back in my car. She slams the door on my leg. So in self-defense, she would not get out of the way. I had a plastic bottle of juice. It wasn't even full. I threw it at her so she'd get out of the way. I left. I didn't know what. She's twice my size. I don't know what she was going to do. So I left. There was not even a police case. They dropped it.
Let's go back.
Okay.
She had just gotten off the bus and she was crossing the street. Is that right?
More like messing around in the street.
I don't know what you mean messing around in the street.
Okay. Well, she was in the middle of the street, basically.
And you were coming down that street.
Right.
How far away from her was your car when you first saw her?
A few feet.
That's impossible. Had you just turned onto the street?
Yeah, no, I was driving down the street.
Right. So
she was in the middle of the street, so I...
Ms. Romero, I want you to pay attention. You're driving down the street. I'm sitting in my car. I'm looking to the back of the courtroom. Let us say Miss Smith was standing in the middle of the courtroom back there. I would see her from a distance of, let us say, 30 feet. So when you say you saw when she was a couple of feet away from you, that's stupid. Do you understand? You're driving down the street, and how far away from your car was she when you first saw her?
Oh, okay.
Duh.
I don't know.
Point to something in this room.
Okay, I saw her, like, from here.
From where you are to where?
From to that guy right there. For
Officer Bird.
Officer
So
Bird.
that's probably about 20 feet.
Okay.
So you were paying attention enough to see her approximately 20 feet away from you. Should have been more, because if you were paying attention, you were more than 20 feet into the street, right?
Right.
What were you doing? Were you on the phone?
No.
Now, when you saw her from approximately 20 feet away, where was she in this street? Was she in the middle of the street?
She was in my lane. When I was driving, she was in my lane, like standing, whatever she was doing.
Well, she wasn't just standing there. She was walking across the street slowly.
Yeah.
Right?
She should have.
Listen to me. She was walking across the street very slowly. Correct? She's not an idiot. She's not just standing in the middle of the street contemplating, her navel. She's walking, maybe she was daydreaming about something, but she's walking across the street very slowly. So what did you do?
I stopped a few feet in front of her, honked my horn at her.
Why did you honk your horn?
Because she wouldn't get out of the street.
That's not true. She was crossing the street. She was just crossing
Well,
slowly.
she should have crossed at a crosswalk. That's what they're for. Not to mess around in the street, really. She was in the street, walking slowly, so I stopped. I honked at her.
So why didn't you wait for me to come?
Shh, just a second.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Don't answer her.
Sorry.
I'm sorry would be nice here for acting badly.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Put your hand down. Go like this with your nails. Go like this. Good. Now stop.
And later today,
The two of you were out there tooling around on the jet skis. Mr. Kilgore says this accident happened and it was your fault. You hit his jet ski. So I want to know which one of you was at fault. You can huddle and you can make up your mind. Get together.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Barbie Smith claims Angeline Romero assaulted her while crossing the street. Angeline claims Barbie slapped her car.
Somebody is crossing the street. This is not a busy thoroughfare. There aren't a lot of cars there. That's the kind of street it looks like because I saw pictures of it. You had several choices. You could have just sat in your car and waited for her to get across the street. If she's slow, she's slow. Some people are fast, some people are slow. You're not the crosswalk monitor. It's not your job to tell her by honking your horn that she should have crossed the street at some other location. She was crossing the street. Pedestrian always has the right of way. Did you ever hear that statement?
Yeah, but also, if you see a car coming at you, I'm sure you would hurry it up.
Well, I certainly would.
Lollygag in the street when a car's coming.
Oh,
What?
my God.
That maybe is true. But you're driving a car, several thousand pounds of vehicle, and she is crossing the street. Miss Romero, so you can't act like a jerk. Which you did. You acted like a jerk. And you can't. And I believe that that's exactly what you did. Once you honked your horn, she got annoyed, and maybe she just stood there. Is that right?
Right.
I mean, I was certain things. Listen to me. Don't get me traumatized, Miss Smith.
Traumatized by what?
Miss
I didn't-
Romero,
Sorry.
shut your mouth. You did the wrong thing. 100% wrong thing. She didn't act in a smart fashion because once you honked your horn, instead of moving along, you said, what's she honking her horn at? And I'm going to just stand here and really irritate her. Right?
I really didn't want
Look,
to.
hey, don't fool around with me. You just stood there. And then she crept up her car and she hit you with the bumper.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Sure you did, because that's what the doctor says. Sure you did. Wrong, 100% wrong. And you were 100% wrong. Because what you should have done is when Miss Idiot over here decided to honk the horn at you, you should have just walked across the street
Right.
and forgotten about it. Even your mother knows that's true, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You try to avoid a confrontation, Miss Smith. You don't try to precipitate one. She didn't act like a responsible driver.
Right.
You acted like a hothead pedestrian. And I also believe that once she hit you or got close enough to you to touch you with her bumper, you slammed her car with your hand. Like
Yeah,
that.
like, what are you doing?
Just a minute. Like that. Right?
Right.
You forgot to tell me that, Miss Smith. How come in your story you forgot to tell me that? Do you understand? There are certain things that have a common human experience. If you live long enough, you've seen it. I have actually witnessed my own husband crossing the street, and he felt as if a car got too close. Slapped the car. And he is what I consider a relatively intelligent man. A man, so those things are not necessarily, yeah. But I've seen him do that. And I've seen a lot of other people do that. So that's what you did. I know that's what you did.
Yeah, I do.
And then she got out of her car and she threw a bottle at you. Further stupid. Further stupid. Put your hand down. Go like this with your nails. Go like this. Good. Now stop. If I had to choose fault, you would be at fault. Because you had no right to honk your horn at her. She is the pedestrian. She has the right of way. She may have been traveling too slowly for you. If she were walking with a walker or a cane, maybe you would have been smart enough to stop and not honk your horn. But maybe you're that stupid that you felt as if people who have walkers and people with canes should walk at some place other than where I'm driving. So ultimately, it's your fault. And you have to be punished for being at fault. You, however, don't get what you're looking for. And what you're looking for in this lawsuit is, for your aggravation, pain, and suffering, $5,000. I want you to get that figure out of your mind. Because you are partially responsible for all of this because you decided to play, I'm not getting out of the street. I'm entitled to be in this street as much as she's entitled to drive in this street. So you had a lot of aggravation. You had a little bit of pain and suffering. That's worth $500. That's your judgment. Judge for the plaintiff.
Thank you, ma'am.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think she needs to stop calling me stupid.
I'm satisfied with it.
She needs to get a life
It was all about respecting other people
and stop trying to sue everybody.
and letting other people cross the street.
She probably doesn't have a job, so she needs to sue someone.
And it was wrong.
The police dropped the whole case.
Denver Police Department is, they go after the big crimes.
There's no criminal case or anything.
They really don't care about little cases, so
Look at her, she wanted to fight me. She's twice my size.
just watch out for people and
There's no way I'm gonna go, you know, try and fight her.
how they drive.
Obviously nothing happened.
Yeah, it was a victory.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Perlick versus Bauer. Step forward, please.
21-year-old loan officer Hannah Perlick is suing her former friend, 22-year-old sales associate Tracy Bauer, for driving her car while drunk and wrecking it. Tracy is countersuing for impound fees.
All right, ladies. Let me run through what I perceive to be the chronology of events of this day or evening. Bert, I would like you to listen carefully so that if I make a mistake here, either in my perceptions or the facts, you let me know right away.
Absolutely.
Good. I believe it was the 12th of
December.
It was the 12th of December of last year, and you two ladies decided to go out for the evening. And you took your car
Correct.
to a
club downtown.
and you were going to be drinking.
Yes.
So, according to you, you decided that you were going to be the drunk and she was going to be the sober driver. So far, is that correct?
Yes.
And when you got to the club, lo and behold, she decided also to be a
Drunk.
drunk. Now, when you were getting ready to leave, for whatever reason, you both decided that she was less drunk than you were, according to you.
It was just basically that it was predetermined that she would drive before we went, and so I drank freely because it was going to be her responsibility to make sure that we were home. And
That
when we,
sounds really responsible, so that you told her she had to drive.
well, it was I have a prior. I do have a DWI, and so I don't do it. And so if I'm going to go out, I'm going to make sure that I have a way home.
And that you'd never drink and drive, correct?
I can't say
Correct?
Not never. I don't want to lie. It's not never, but I.
Well, on this particular evening, you were committed not to drink and drive.
That's
Right.
correct.
All right. In any event, it is your claim that when you left the club, she was driving.
Yes.
And she had an accident with your car.
Correct.
Causing several $1,000s worth of damage for which you want her to be responsible. That's generally your case.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yes.
Trust me, it gets better. After you drove home with the now damaged car, Miss Bauer had to get back to her house, right?
Right. Actually.
And she had left her car at your house, right?
Mm-hmm.
You did not want her to drive because she was too drunk. So you, ready? drove her car back to her house. And you got pulled over for DUI. Miss Perlick, who wasn't going to drink and drive that night because you were too smart. And Miss Bauer is counterclaiming because she says that because of you, that you drove her car home, she has had to get her car out of impound, and she has to now drive around with license plates that say that a drunken driver drives this car. DUI. Right?
Yep.
That's your counterclaim.
Yep.
Got it? Well, let me synthesize it for you, Bert, just in case you missed it. The two of them went out for an evening. They had made up before that the defendant was going to be the sober driver because Miss Perlick has a prior DWI and she likes to drink. Miss Bauer also decided to drink that night. So now it's time to go home and they're both drunk. However, Miss Perlick says, well, we had a prior arrangement. Prior arrangement was that she was going to drive. And that I don't care whether drunk or sober, she's going to drive.
She agreed.
She was agreed. This contract. So, according to Miss Perlick, Miss Bauer drove. Of course, Miss Bauer says she really wasn't driving, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. So, Miss Bauer then gets home to Miss Perlick's house. Now, she's got her car there. Yeah. There's an accident. Miss Perlick says, I won't let her drive home because she's drunk. So, Miss Perlick decides, even though she was too drunk to drive her own car, she decides to drive Miss Bauer's car home.
Right, she's not
and she's driving like a snake in the road, and some very, very efficient, diligent, intuitive cop pulls her over and says, drunk, prior DUI, impound the car, and put on DUI plates on the car. Ergo, her countersuit. Got it? Now, Bert, would you let these two people go out and fend for themselves and say to them, what are you bothering me for?
That would pretty much be my slant.
That would pretty much be my view. You acted like two morons, like two idiots, like half-baked nuts that night. The two of you, driving, drinking, putting other people's lives at risk, and then you come to a court and you say you fix it. Don't you feel stupid?
May I speak?
Oh, yes. I was hoping you would say, yes, I feel stupid. I'm sorry, Judge. Goodbye, but I'll be more than happy to listen to you, Miss Perlick. Go ahead.
I am beyond stupid, especially when I'm drunk, and I know that. And that's exactly why she was going to drive. When we left, she told me, no, I'm going to drive. You're not supposed to drive. She seemed fine to me. She told me, don't call the cops. Don't get the insurance company involved. I will pay for everything. She came to me, Hannah, I am so sorry. Please, let me pay you back. I said, okay, I let it go for a few months. My witness also came to me and said, you know what? She's running her mouth. She says, I don't have the money. I'm not going to pay her back. Sure. That's why we're here. I'm not going to deny that I'm stupid. I was ignorant. I shouldn't have driven that night. I was not given a DWI that night because I was not drunk. I got pulled over for going 3 miles over the speed limit coming off an off-ramp because she has a Grand Prix. I have a truck.
You told me you were too drunk to drive your own car home.
And then 3 hours later, sitting in front of my house after the accident had happened.
You got all sobered up?
Yes, very much.
How old are you?
I am 21 years old.
Miss Perlick, if you're 21 years old and have a prior DUI, then what you have to do is stop drinking. Stop drinking and stop fetching.
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't come and clog up the courts and bog down the courts with your nonsense. You both did the wrong thing that night. Deal with it. That's all. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm upset because this girl said she was going to pay for everything. She drove my car. It was her responsibility.
I never said just...
Or I knew that I make stupid decisions when I'm drunk. I already know that. That's why she was supposed to be responsible to drive.
We both made bad decisions that night.
She ruined my car.
We just have to pay the price for it.
She steals my money.
I wasn't driving the vehicle.
She ruined my car.
I'll beat the out of her if she doesn't step away from me. How about that?
Kosick versus Komar. Step forward, please.
Kevin Kosick says he overpaid his ex-girlfriend, Deanna Komar, for child support. He wants her to repay it. Deanna can't believe he would take money intended for his daughter.
Order. All rise.
Yeah, this is number 82 on the calendar in the matter of Kosick versus Komar. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Not a particularly unique situation. Let me understand what this lawsuit is about, and I have some real questions to ask you folks. You two dated for a while, about 5 years ago. You had a baby, never got married. You started to pay child support through the court. Then you had another baby. You went back and you got a reduction, and they were taking the money right out of your check. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Income deduction order, so that you went right to her from the court. And you say that you overpaid after this reduction was granted $108. Is that right?
Correct. That is correct.
So you're suing her for $600.
Yes.
All right. For some reason, interest and other interest. All right. So I have some questions that go back a little bit, because I've read your complaint and I've read your answer. You have a daughter together, and she's now 5. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Her name is Berlin.
Right.
You say, sir, in your complaint that from the time the child was born, you always paid support.
Yes.
How much did you pay every month, say in her first year of life?
I paid for her schooling. It was around $400.
Well, she wasn't in school when she was
for the
6
first
months
year of
old.
life. Any money that she needed.
What does that mean?
Anytime that she needed money and asked for the money, I would give it to her.
I'm asking you how much you gave her regularly during the first year. $50 a week, $100 a week, $200 a week.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know
How much did
exactly.
he pay you in child support that first year?
Nothing.
Now let's talk about.
I didn't get child support until about 2 years ago. We went to and got the court order.
Well, I see that you indicate that there was a paternity proceeding and you were ordered to pay child support through the court
He
at
paid
that
some of
time.
her schooling and stuff before, and at a point he quit, and then I went to court and got the court order.
In the second year of her life, sir, how much did you pay for child support?
Any of the money that she needed. I always gave money for her.
How much?
I don't know. Anytime that she asked for money, I would give her the money.
She's not supposed to have. Can we have quiet here, please? Talking about regular child support, sir. You didn't pay any. Am I correct that you did not pay any regular child support until you were taken to court?
Exactly. Nothing regular set $200 a month or something like that. I gave money, and anytime she needed something, I was there with the
Now,
money.
when you were finally taken to court for child support, you were ordered to pay how much?
The first time, $566 a month.
Had you ever given her $566 a month before that?
I would imagine so.
Did he ever?
In a set amount, no.
In total, was he paying anywhere near
Nothing monthly he was paying, no.
Well, for schooling, for any other expenses?
Not $566, no. Her school never totaled that much.
Now, is this $566 regular support, or was any of that towards arrears that you owed?
That was all regular support.
He did have about a month that he had to pay arrears too, but otherwise $566.
Added on top of that.
Right.
Okay, so it was $566 a month, and that was 2 years ago.
Yes.
And I assume that that money came out of your check?
Yes, it did.
How much do you earn, by the way?
I don't know. Actually, I'd have to ask my wife. I give my paychecks to her, so.
You're kidding me.
No. After all the garnishments and everything, I don't know. I don't look at my
Before
paychecks.
the
I don't know
garnish-
before the garnishments. It's $1,100
A week?
every 2 weeks.
What's your annual salary, sir?
I make probably $30 a year.
What kind of work do you do?
I work in construction.
As a construction worker?
Supervisor.
And you're telling me that all you earn is $30,000 a year?
That is correct.
Okay, so you were giving her $566 a month, and then you had another baby.
Yes.
So what did you do?
Continue to pay her, and now we went to court to get the payments dropped because
Who
I
went to
can't.
court?
Well, we both went and had not to court. I went. We both had the paperwork signed.
Just a second. You went to court to start a proceeding to reduce your child support.
Correct.
Let me see the piece of paper. Okay. So you entered into this agreement. You signed it on the 6th of September? Is that right?
Yeah.
That's what it says. Why didn't you sign this agreement on the same day that she signed it, sir?
I wasn't told to. They gave me the paperwork to sign and then mailed it to her to sign.
Do you work?
Yes, I do.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a receptionist.
How much do you earn?
What, monthly or yearly?
Annually.
Probably about $1,200, $1,300 a year.
12 or 13,000, you mean?
1,000 a year.
And your wife works, sir?
Yes. Well, no, not right now. She did at the time. Right now, she stays at home and watches the baby.
What kind of work did your wife do?
She worked at the same company I did.
As what?
Operations manager.
How much were you earning annually? You're his wife before you had your baby?
Annually, I was probably earning about 15, 16.
From which date to which date was she, do you say that she was overpaid?
September 6th. No, wait up here. Oh, can I ask? She knows what date. So
No. You mean you don't know?
I don't know. I didn't take care of all this.
Step up here.
Your Honor, the reason why I took care of most of it was because I don't work. I have time to take care of the financial part of our relationship.
Good.
And she has been overpaid.
Just tell me
out of
when.
4 checks from the September 15th till November 1st. She gets 2 payments on the 15th and the 1st.
To November what?
1st. The 15th to the 1st. Ms. Komar was aware of the situation, and she agreed before to repay us because she was aware of the wrongdoing, and she was not entitled to the money. And she said she would send a check in the mail, no problem. We gave her 2-3 weeks to respond, gave her some time.
And they
We-
harassed
we
me
said the
every
check
day.
was in the mail.
We
Oh,
called
it'll be
her,
there.
and
They
she
harass
said,
me every day at work. I've got all the
Your Honor,
things. Also, it comes
she
down to because
is
he
just
was ordered.
Just a second.
He was ordered to pay attorney fees, and
You have that in your answer. What about these attorney's fees that he was supposed to pay?
he was supposed to pay $2,100 in attorney fees. And
For what proceeding?
For the child custody hearing for my lawyer for when we went to court
2 years ago.
Right, and it was ordered if he stopped payment, then he would owe everything in full on top of interest. He stopped paying, I believe, as of May, and then they got another payment the previous November. At this point, he owes my attorney over $500.
Why didn't you pay her? Why didn't you pay her lawyer?
we have continued
We
to pay
have been
her
working
lawyer.
on paying off
No.
her.
Why didn't you pay? You want her to send you this $400 and some odd
I have
in
not
one
paid
lump
her
sum.
attorney. She is telling me that I owe her this money. After trying to get a hold of her attorney and find out, what the fact is on how much that we exactly owe and how much is left, and her attorney says you don't owe her anything. The money is to come to me. And I said I just want to get that clear because I don't want to give her $500 and then turn around and have to give you another $500 because she didn't say that she got the money.
Your Honor.
So I'm supposed to get the $432 from her, and then I will turn around and pay the attorney and make payments.
You're
with
supposed to get the
attorney.
$432 if I believe that that's equitable, sir.
My attorney broke it down for me and what he owes, and then this is a copy
That's
of what he's
irrelevant to the
paid.
case.
That's
Your
a
Honor,
whole other case anyway.
The money was supposed to be dropped because we need to support our daughter as well as Berlin.
Let me explain something to you. Your name is
Nicole.
Nicole? In most jurisdictions in this country, and she may not have known that because she didn't have a lawyer, you do not get a reduction in child support because you choose to have other children. You take on the responsibility of a second family, understanding that you have a first family or a first child, and if you can afford to have 2 children, you have 2 children. If you can afford to have 10, you have 10. But if you decide to have 10, child number 1 doesn't get reduced support. That's the law in most jurisdictions. Now, what you did was you went to court. You didn't even go to court. You went to a mediator. You didn't have a lawyer. You brought no proof of what your earnings were. I would bet a year's salary that in the first 3 years of your daughter's life, you paid nothing close to $566 a month. And at that time, you didn't have a new baby. The $566 a month was based upon what a court found your income was. That was after a hearing. There was really no basis for a downward modification if you went to court. Just pay attention. There was no basis for a downward modification if you went to court because you had a second child, fully understanding that you had a $566 obligation. Do not interrupt me. A $566 obligation to support this child. And if you could have afforded this child's $566 and another child, that's wonderful. But if you can't, you have no business having another baby. What you do is you don't take her to court to reduce the amount of support, and you acted foolishly. You're not supposed to make judgments without quality information. And the quality information is you're supposed to know what he's earning before you agree to a reduction in what is your child's right, which is to be adequately supported by both parents based upon their means. I don't even know how much he earns now. I mean, if he's only earning $30,000 a year, he's the most underpaid construction worker in this hemisphere. This law, I am dismissing this lawsuit because I don't think you did the right thing on behalf of your child. And I'm dismissing it in good conscience because I believe that the order in this court of the Court did not take effect until the end of October when the judge signed it. That was October 24th, irrespective of what you mutually agreed. It did not become a changed order until the end of October. This lawsuit is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out, please.
And now, the next case.
Parties on Amin versus Pena. Step forward, please.
Mary Amin and Nick Pandya went to Las Vegas. When Nick gambled and lost, Mary reluctantly gave him cash. When he paid her back with a bad check, she said no deal.
A weekend in Vegas.
Order.
You went to Las Vegas with a group of people?
No.
And he was one of them?
A group?
Several people.
He gave his friend a lift to Las Vegas.
So
but
there were
was
three
no
of you?
group.
There were three of you?
On the trip, yes.
Okay.
On the ride over.
And you say that he lost all of his money?
He lost all of his money.
So what happened?
He came to me and said, I lost all of my money and I need more money. And I said, get your ATM card and go get money. He said, well, my magnetic strip, it was broken or it doesn't work or whatever. And so I've ordered a new one and the bank is issuing me a new one. And he said, but I don't have any more money and I've maxed out my credit cards. And I said, well, write a check. There's a cashier if you need more money. Well, I didn't bring my checkbook. And I said, well, I don't know what to tell you because, you know, you're done with your money, you don't go. If I spend my money, I don't spend any more money. He said, well, I have funds available in my account. And I said, well, I don't know what to tell you. Go use your credit card. Do it. If you want to gamble, you have to have money. And he said, well, I don't have any more credit cards. I can't get any more cash. I've exhausted all of my credit cards, but I have funds in my account at the Bank of America. And he said, can I get some money from you? And I said, I don't have any money to give you. I brought 100 with me. I got 100 out of my ATM. That's my maximum. $200-300 is all I ever spend. I know what my limit is. Well, let me borrow some money. I don't have any money. I don't have any money to loan.
Were you friends or were you dating or?
We were dating for close to a month, probably several weeks, close to a month, and he was supposed to be my boyfriend. I mean, we always dated. We had a good time. We went out, you know, and I thought he was.
So you finally did what?
So I got my old ATM card out, and he promised me just a couple $100, I'll pay you back. I have the funds in my account. As soon as we get back to Orange County, I will write you a check. I have the money. And then he went through that money, and and it's like, I don't have money to loan you. I don't have money to loan you. And he said, it's not a loan. The money's going to be right back there just as soon as we get back.
So you lent him $900, according to you.
$900.
Did he write you a check for it?
He did write me a check, Your Honor.
When did he write you the check?
He wrote the check after we got back. Not the same night, but the following night I went and we spent the night, we were together, and he wrote me a check in the morning, and I have it.
Can I see it?
Yes.
Mary and Nick and a gambling debt. Mary Amin and Nick Pandya went to Las Vegas. When Nick gambled and lost, Mary reluctantly gave him cash. When he paid her back with a bad check, she said no deal.
So what happened with this check when you deposited it?
I deposited the check into my account. I thought everything was fine. He was still my boyfriend. We were still seeing each other. I called my credit union where I keep my checking account on the 16th of August to check my balance. I almost had a heart attack. There was no money in my account, and I asked for, some information, and they said there was a check for $900 dishonored. Twice.
Okay, your side of the story.
Well, we went there. We spent the weekend. I never asked her for any money. She had her ATM card. I had about $1,400 that I gambled with. I lost, and I had stopped. She wanted to go out, spend the evening outside. I told her I don't have any more money, and she was the one who offered it. I did not ask her for any money. I did not borrow any money from her. On the way back to Orange County, she told me that she had spent her rent money and if I would help her. I was expecting some funds. I told her I would try and help her. The minute my funds did not materialize, I put the stop payment on the check. In the meantime, the check had gone through because my other checks had bounced. I did not have any money. After which she started calling me up, harassing me at all hours of the night.
Just a second. Let me understand this, sir. You're telling me that you never borrowed any money from her.
That's true.
That she went through all of her money.
Right.
And that you said that you would help her out because she spent all of her rent money.
Right.
And that's really what this $900 check was for.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, all right. And then you said that you had no more money in the account because
Right.
this check was honored.
Dishonored.
Dishonored?
Right. Because
Well, how could you help her out, sir, if you were giving her a bad check?
No, because I had some monies coming in. I had my paycheck that was supposed to have gone in. I had money that I had taken from a friend of mine who owed me money. I had some monies that had come in, and I was expecting those funds to clear.
Let me see your bank statement.
I don't have my bank statements, Your Honor.
Well, wouldn't that be important, sir, if you wanted to tell me a story about having so much money in the bank and you had sufficient funds in your ATM to cover all your expenses when you were on Las Vegas? Wouldn't it strike you that your bank statement might have been important to bring today?
Well, I didn't know what all was needed. And basically, I came to tell the truth the way it was.
I don't understand, sir. If you were boyfriend and girlfriend and you gave her a check, you just also told me that you stopped payment on the check.
Yeah, I stopped payment on the check.
Well, why would you stop payment on a check that you gave your girlfriend to help her out?
The reason was because I did not have any more funds to give her, and she was harassing me at all times of the night.
Why was she harassing you?
She was claiming that I owed her the money, and why wasn't I willing to help her?
Just a second. She deposited the check that you gave her immediately. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
When did you put a stop payment on the check? A day later, 2 days later, 3 days later?
About 4 days later.
I don't think so. Never.
About 4 days later, because the check that had been given to me by my friend had bounced, and I was not left with any money. That's the reason I had put a stop payment on the check.
And did you tell her immediately that you put a stop payment on the check?
Yes, I did.
Sir, I have to make a decision, quite frankly, today, based upon two divergent stories. Your story does not have a ring of truth to it. Now, I may be wrong. I was wrong in 1947, that I can remember. But I don't think I'm wrong about this. This lady lent you money, $900. You promised to pay her back. You gave her a bad check. And then he proceeded to make up this story about this lady losing all of her money. And you were helping her out. I think that your story is a lot of baloney. The judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $900. Thank you.
Your
That's
Honor.
all.
Parties are excused. Step out.
Judge Judy will return in a moment.
This guy's a liar. He's a con man. And I hope the women around the LA area get a good look at him.
You are the liar in
No,
this
I'm not.
case, not me.
I
you
know
borrowed
the truth.
money from me.
I never borrowed a nickel from you.
And I did not borrow
You
a dime
wrote me a
from
bad
you.
check.
No.
You wrote me a bad check. You lied to me. I thought you were my boyfriend, and you lied to me. And now you make me sick. I don't want to see your face anymore. I'm out of here.
Deposit box. He gave a key to his daughter, Carolyn Horowitz. She borrowed the jewelry, but didn't return it. Now, her dad is suing for the family jewels.
Order. Order. All right.
All right, this is case number 50 on the calendar in the matter of Lloyd versus Horowitz.
You may be seated.
Well, I read over these papers, and let me tell you, some of the things that I read in here ring a little close to my home, and I think the homes of a lot of other people who may be watching this case. Your wife of 50 years died.
49 years and 11 months.
And this is your daughter.
Yes.
And when your wife died, you took some, according to your complaint, some of her diamond jewelry. You had it appraised for about $2,000. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. Here's the.
I believe you.
Here's the appraisal slip.
I believe you. And then you took this diamond jewelry that was your wife's and you put it in a vault.
Safe deposit box, ma'am.
And you gave your daughter the key.
Yes.
Just in case something happened
That's
to
right.
you.
Seeing as how she was the only living relative.
Okay. And unbeknownst to you, your daughter at some point went into the safety deposit box
Right.
and removed the jewelry.
Right.
Without your permission.
Right.
So you're suing her for the $2,000.
Right. Okay. Or return of the jewelry.
Now, Ms. Horowitz,
Yes.
I read your answer and you don't deny that you went in and took the jewelry. Correct? You said you took it because you wanted to wear the jewelry to a very special function.
That's correct. It was a Christmas program that I was singing in, and I don't remember the exact year. I just remember wanting to wear the jewelry because I knew my mother couldn't be there, and it made me feel it made me feel like she would be close to me.
Ms. Horowitz, I want you to be really honest with me.
Okay.
Had your dad met his new wife at the time you took out the jewelry?
He knew her before my mom passed away.
But they started dating, according to your complaint, within 3 weeks of your mother's death.
Not his current wife. He just started dating,
Oh,
and then he proposed to her 3 months after my mom passed away.
That bothered you?
A lot, yeah.
Okay. Was there any sense, or did you feel that perhaps this jewelry that was your mom's would wind up with his new wife?
No, I never gave that a thought.
You sure?
Mm-hmm. Because of something that happened, because of something that she said to him before they got married.
Which was?
Well, he wanted to give her a wedding ring that belonged to my grandmother, and Addie said, no, that belongs to Carolyn.
Why do you think that your dad didn't... Well, let me ask him that question. Mr. Lloyd, this is your only living relative, you said.
Yes. I have a sister who is in the courtroom now, too.
But this clearly would be the person who would get all of your wife's jewelry. You weren't going to wear the jewelry, correct? No. When your wife died, why didn't you give the jewelry to your daughter right away?
My wife left it to me.
Well, I understand that. She left you probably all of her property, didn't she?
Pardon?
Didn't she leave you all of her property?
Yes.
And the jewelry was just part of that property?
Yes.
My question is more of an emotional question, Mr. Lloyd, rather than a dollars and cents question. This was jewelry that your wife wore, and this is your only daughter.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you want to see her wearing that jewelry?
Your Honor, since the time she was in high school, she's been nothing but a lying bitch. And now she has made it a lying, thieving bitch.
Those are pretty harsh words, Mr. Lloyd.
I know they are.
Well,
and they're the truth.
Mr. Lloyd.
Yes.
Children come into this world as blank slates, sir.
That's right.
They grow up to be what we as parents make them, sir. And I have absolutely no idea as to whether any of what you said is true. But if any of it is true, you and your wife made her. So you have to have some responsibility for that.
The case of a father suing his own daughter and breaking her heart continues in a moment. Carl Lloyd is suing his daughter, Carolyn Horowitz, over his late wife's jewelry.
I still don't understand why, if you had the feeling that this was your only living relative, why you wouldn't say to your daughter with a warm hand, you know what, did you ever hear the expression, you're supposed to give with a warm hand? You know what that means?
No.
Well, it means that when you give to children, the hand that you are giving it to should be warm. They shouldn't have to wait until the hand is cold and dead before they get something from you. It's nice to give it. If you can give it with a warm hand while you're still alive, so that you could look at the face of the child and say, here's something I want you to have. Did your daughter know before this moment how you felt about her?
Pardon?
You think your daughter knew before this moment how you felt about her?
Yes, she did.
Is that true? Why do you think that is, Mrs. Horowitz?
I have no idea.
Hmm?
I have no idea. I've thought about it and thought about it. And the only thing I can figure out is that I've never been able to live up to his expectations.
Is that true, Mr. Lloyd?
No.
You married?
Yes.
How long?
25 years.
Same guy? That's you.
That's me.
You have children?
Yes. My daughter's sitting in there in the front row now in tears because of what her grandfather said about her wedding.
What did he say about her wedding?
Tell her. Go ahead and tell her.
What did you say about Lori's wedding?
I said it was a fake, a phony.
Mr. Lloyd.
And
Mr. Lloyd, Are you still married to your present wife?
Yes, ma'am. And very happily married to her.
You know,
she wouldn't come to this meeting because my daughter, when we were married, says, "There goes my inheritance. There goes my inheritance."
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
That's a lie.
You're a lying bitch.
That's
what
a lie.
you are.
Listen, Miss Horowitz, listen to me.
That's not correct.
Listen to me. I don't know, quite frankly, whether your dad was like this all the time.
It's getting worse as he gets older.
I have a sense that that has to be true. Do you know? You took this jewelry, and you knew that you weren't supposed to take it.
That's not correct, because he gave me a key to the safe deposit box. I assume permission was implied.
Well, that's not really true. Just because you have permission to go into a box doesn't mean that you have ownership of or any ownership rights to any of the items contained in the box. And I don't think you can make that giant leap from the fact that you have permission to go into the box to take the jewelry from the box.
I didn't even think of permission. All I was thinking of was I wanted to wear the jewelry because my mom couldn't be at this Christmas program, and it just gave me a sense of closeness of having her there with me.
Your Honor, I can't hear what she's saying.
What she's saying is she just wanted to be closer to her mom by wearing these pieces of jewelry that were her mother's. That's what she said. Mrs. Horowitz.
Yes.
You had no right to take the jewelry from the box. Now, according to your answer, you don't know where the jewelry is now. I'm not going to ask you whether that's true or not. I assume you still have a sentimental attachment for it.
Yes.
Right? Did you get along with your mom?
Yes.
What was the cause of her death?
Cardiac arrest, secondary to septic shock. She was in the hospital for anemia and developed, picked up a staph infection and went into septic shock and subsequent cardiac arrest.
But you were close to her all of the years that she was alive?
I would say so, yes.
Judge Judy is ready to rule in a moment. Carl Lloyd is suing his daughter, Carolyn Horowitz, over his late wife's jewelry.
I assume you want the jewelry. Is that right?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd, and you want your $2,000 that the jewelry was appraised for. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd, you are too old, sir, for me to give any speeches to. You're even older than I am. But I'm going to tell you, you have a daughter, you have a grandchild, and sometimes people get softer as they get older. Softer. I don't think that's happening to you, Mr. Lloyd. I think you're getting tougher as you're getting older. I would try, if I were you, sir, to lighten up on your daughter. She is who she is. She's a product of whatever you and your wife did. She looks like a perfectly nice lady. She has a nice husband. She's been responsible, married to him for 25 years. They have a daughter who's getting married. You might even be a great-grandfather in your time. That would be a wonderful thing. Well,
I got 2 great-grandchildren.
That's
living in Maryland.
That's lovely. You may have another or another couple. That's very nice, especially if they were living closer by so that you could see them. It's a very terrible thing to cut yourself off from your family over money. You brought this lawsuit. You are entitled to either your jewelry back, which your wife did leave to you. I don't think there's any dispute with regard to that, or you're entitled to the money, Mr. Lloyd. You want the money from your daughter?
Pardon?
Do you want the money from your daughter?
The money or the jewelry.
Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. I'm sorry, Miss Horowitz. That's all.
Why does I excuse me? Step out, please.
Back to your right.
I don't really know what to say. I'm shocked. You know, I don't understand. I don't even know what to say.
He stole my jewelry. It was mine. And nobody steals from me without paying the price. Nobody. And she's lied so many times that she's an habitual liar. And a habitual bitch.
On Sharp versus Khalik. Step forward, please.
Abdul Khalik was driving down the highway when he crashed into Sharon Sharp's laundromat. She says Abdul tried to make a clean getaway without paying for the damages.
Your Honor, this is number 19 on the calendar in the matter of Sharp versus Khalik.
Thank you very much.
May be seated.
Ms. Sharp, according to your complaint, you own a laundromat?
That is correct.
And the defendant, Mr. Khalik, drove his car through the plate glass window of your laundromat.
He drove his car through 3 plate glass windows, damaged a door, and a pillar in front of the building.
Why did you do that, sir?
I was, on September the 17th, I was going to school. I was driving north on Motor.
Is that your chart?
Do you want me to go there?
Would you go over there and show me what you were doing?
This is Motor, and I was
You mean that little red car is your car?
Yeah. And I was going north, approaching the green light. And there was another car coming this direction.
Mm-hmm.
That car made a turn in front of me within less than 10 feet. I avoided the vehicle, trying not to kill lives or human beings, so I ended up going, breaking the outside door and 2 glass of windows. Then I pulled my car out, waited by the side for the cops, and we called 911. At that time, we had to wait for 40 minutes. The cops came.
Were you speeding?
No, I was going 35 miles.
Going 35 miles an hour.
With the regular speed limit on Motor.
Okay. Well, and you drove your car into her laundromat. So it was an accident.
Exactly.
So because it was an accident, you don't think that you should pay for the damage to her laundromat?
Mm-mm. I strongly don't feel responsible because when I was going in my left lane, I was going north and the car, made a right turn in front of me. I avoided the car. And then when I hit the brake,
Do you have insurance, sir?
At that time, I had comprehensive collision, but my liability expired about 10 days before the accident.
Well, you had liability insurance.
At that time of the accident?
That expired?
Yeah.
You let it expire.
I intend to go to buy a policy, but...
You let it expire. She didn't let it expire. You let it expire. Right?
Correct.
She's in her laundromat, washing and folding. You plow into her laundromat.
Abdul Khalik was driving down the highway when he crashed into Sharon Sharp's laundromat. She says Abdul tried to make a clean getaway without paying for the damages.
Now, so I have just a couple of questions. Do you have any photographs that you want to show me of this plate
Yes,
glass?
ma'am, I do.
You don't deny that you caused the damage to her store, correct?
No, I don't deny the damage, but I don't think I don't think I meant to go to her laundromat.
Mr. Khalik, that is for sure, sir. I'm sure you didn't mean to go into her laundromat, but you certainly caused an awful lot of damage to her laundromat.
That's caused by the Honda was making a turn in front of me.
No, Mr. Khalik. You know what they call insurance, sir? Accident insurance. They don't call it on-purpose insurance. Right? If they called it on-purpose insurance, then you wouldn't be responsible. Because certainly you didn't purposefully say, I'm going into Mrs. Sharp's laundromat because I want to make a quick delivery, there's no parking space. It was an accident. Car was coming in one direction, decided to make a turn. You could not avoid both the car and hitting something else. You lost control of your car, clearly. Because if you went into the laundromat, you weren't in control of your car, correct?
Yeah, because I was too close to the other vehicle, so I tried to avoid it.
Right. So you had an accident.
Exactly.
And you have accident insurance.
It was expired at that time.
Well, you have some accident insurance,
Yeah.
but you don't have accident insurance for this kind of accident.
Yep.
Now, Mr. Khalik, between you and the plaintiff, who do you think should pay for this damage, sir?
I don't know.
Well, I want you to think about it again. She's in her laundromat, washing and folding other people's laundry, going about her business, not doing anything to contemplate this kind of damage to the front of the store, and you're tooling along in your car, and in order to avoid an accident, you plow into her laundromat.
Yeah, but...
Right? Your car that you're sitting in is now sitting in her laundromat. Right? Who should pay?
It was not sitting on her laundromat. I just hit the outside door, 2 glasses of windows.
Let us assume I believe everything that you said, that you weren't speeding, that you were going down the street, that somebody cut you off, and that you went into her laundromat to avoid hitting other people, to avoid smashing into a car. Of course, you could have killed somebody standing in front of her laundromat. You were just lucky that there wasn't somebody standing in front of her laundromat when you went in there, right?
That's
Mr.
why
Khalik,
I was left with nowhere to go.
Accident insurance, nobody that I know of has an incident in their car where they hit something else, either a person or a vehicle or a laundromat, that intends to do that. They don't leave their house in the morning saying, I'm going to go into the laundromat. That's an accident. You should have been covered for that accident. You permitted your insurance to expire. Between you and this plaintiff, who should bear the cost of fixing her store?
Good question.
You mean you can't give me the answer to that question, Mr. Khalik, or you don't want to?
I just strongly feel that I was a victim of that scene myself. So
you may have been a victim. She was more of a victim. And she was a victim twice. Once because you went through her window, and once because you let your insurance lapse. We wouldn't be standing here today if you hadn't let your insurance lapse, because then you wouldn't have given 2 hoots as to fighting over this money. He would say, yeah, I went through the plate glass window, let my insurance company pay for it. Right?
That is correct. And may I also add that my information is that when the accident occurred, Mr. Khalik tried to leave, and that the neighbors from the adjoining areas came out and surrounded his car, and that they called the police, that he tried to flee.
Negative. That was completely untruthful. Untruthful.
She's ready.
Who's going to pay for this damage?
But I didn't try to flee the scene.
You didn't try to flee the scene. I believe you didn't try to flee the scene. Who's going to pay for this damage? You have a receipt for the damage?
Yes, ma'am.
I see it, please.
For most of it.
Okay. How much did it cost you in total to fix the damage?
Well, I have filed for $1,500. It's actually more. There is 2 bills I have is for the board up, $265, and for the damage for the glass and for the door is $1,145.
Okay, well that comes to yeah.
And there was also a cleanup fees that I paid about $95. It took us about 4 hours to clean up the store. There was glass for 50 feet all over the street, all over, and there's loss of business.
Your $1,500 request is very reasonable. Mr. Khalik, I suggest when you leave court today, you run, don't walk, over to your insurance agent and cover your car completely.
I already got that done.
Perfect. The judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500. Thank you.
Judge Judy will return in a moment.
This woman calls us at 11 o'clock at night yelling that we're harassing her because we asked the man to pay.
Pretending to be the insurance company.
No, I didn't call you to be pretending to be
insurance. You said you were going to kill us.
He lied. He could
You wanted
kill you.
$10,000. Yes, you did. You wanted $10,000 for engineering that you didn't even get.
Nobody could
estimates
kill you
for.
because you gave a false address. They gave a false name, a false address, a false. Everything was false.
How did you get my name? How did you get my name on my phone?
Through investigation, fella.
On Green versus Strong. All parties on Green versus Strong. Step forward, please.
Actor Otto Green says producer Willie Strong published an explicit photo of him, and now he wants Willie censored.
Mr. Green, your complaint states that you had a contract with the defendant, Mr. Strong, to perform in an adult kind of video.
Yes, Your Honor.
The agreement provided that you were going to be paid $1,000 for this performance. You went to the set, you didn't perform, you didn't get your $1,000, but about a year later, you found that your picture was used without your permission on the box of an adult video that he made, and you're suing for $1,000 for breach of that contract.
Yes, Your Honor.
We'll get to your response to that in a minute.
Thank you, Your Honor.
How did he get this photograph of you in the first place?
When I first got to the location, he told me to go on in. We're up to your scene now. We just finished shooting the scene. We're ready for you. So go in, and if you need to, warm up with a lady fine. So I did that.
And so what happened? Were you in the film or were you not in the film?
I was in the film, yes.
Did you get paid?
No, I did not.
You're holding something in your hand. What are you holding in your hand?
This is the cover of the film.
So glad I'm over 21. Can I see it, please?
On the reverse side, I'm in
Where are you?
to the far left.
Yeah, where are you?
Well, would you take it back to him and let him point out where he is? Shh. Ladies and gentlemen.
That's... No.
Did you use him in your film?
Yes, Your Honor. I intended to use him in the film.
Did you use him in your film, sir?
No, ma'am. I didn't use him in the film.
Did you use him on the cover of the film? Is what? A yes or a no?
Yes.
Well, then you owe him some money.
No.
Why?
Because what he said was not true. What he did, he came in with a Superman's outfit on. All right?
Why didn't you use him?
Because he could not perform.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much what he... Is that what you're saying, sir, that there was some problem with your performance?
There was a monetary...
No,
conflict.
it wasn't a monetary, Your Honor. It was he could not perform.
Is that true? Yes or no?
Yes, I chose not to because we had conflicts about how much the pay would be.
That's some control, sir.
Judge Judy will return in a moment.
Let me ask you this question, sir. You know that photograph, you're looking at that photograph of you, and I just looked at that photograph. You can't see your face in that photograph. Perhaps somebody that knows you well could see this part of your face and say, well, that is Mr. Green. Quite frankly, I don't think that the general public looking at that would say that it's Mr. Green, but he did use your photograph, and you used his photograph, sir, without his permission if you didn't pay for it. Yep. Quiet and listen. You can't exploit someone by using a photograph of them without giving them some kind of compensation.
Your Honor, in this particular picture, basically, I've got a model release. Now, like you said...
Now, listen, he didn't sign... This is a business. You're in a business.
This is a business,
listen,
Your Honor.
You're in a business.
The woman, where he got his face at, the woman that I'm using...
Yes.
Here's her model release. So we chose to use that particular woman. I got the witness.
No, listen to me, sir. You're not following me. Right. And I want you to follow me. You're in business.
Right.
You did something wrong, sir. You published a picture of him, and you didn't pay him for the picture. You would not like it if someone took your videos, went to a room, made 3,000 copies of it, and you wouldn't get a penny from those 3,000 copies because someone was pirating your films. You wouldn't like that. Well, someone pirated his likeness to use on this box in order to entice people to buy the video. That's why you used his picture. It is his picture. He's entitled to be compensated for it, and I am compensating him for it in the amount of $500. Thank you very much. That's all.
It wasn't that I could not perform, it was because I chose not to perform. And he used my picture without my permission, and that's still bottom line.
Here's the man that was shot to steal. He's in the room. We spent over an hour in there with him, with this girl involved. He couldn't perform.
And he couldn't do it.
He couldn't do it.
I don't think that's a choice you make. I chose not to perform. You know what I mean?
Now, the next case.
Parties on Martinek versus Olson. Step forward, please.
Before Jennifer Martinek and Shannon Olson became roommates, they were friends. Now, there's nothing but hate between them.
Battling roommates. Right?
Yes.
Don't look so glum. I've read your complaint and answer. I'm a little confused. You moved in with the defendant on a 3-month lease. How did you meet?
I met her through a coworker who knew that she needed a roommate.
And you needed a room?
Yes.
Okay.
So
it sounds like a marriage.
Yes. She seemed normal. I liked the place. I moved in.
What happened?
And after the first week I moved in with her, I realized that she was very unstable. She had a very bad temper. There were numerous occasions.
That is not true. Well, that's just one gal's opinion. Of course.
Yeah, there's...
So what happened?
Well, there were several occasions where she would have like these just outrageous outbursts, just start screaming at me over little
This is
things.
ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. All
Listen
right?
to me.
No, I don't have to listen to you. I mean,
she has a suit against you for $2,080. You have a countersuit against her for $1,850.
Okay, if this is going to be a trash conversation, then I'm not going to do this. This is regarding a lease that you broke. And if you want to get,
Well, but what she says, madam,
is
that you threw her out of the apartment.
I wasn't even there. We had a phone conversation.
What she says is that you threw her out of the apartment.
How
That's
could I throw her out
germane.
when I was on the phone?
That's what I'm trying to find out. Because she said you threw her out of the apartment, and therefore she's not responsible for the last month or so of the lease, which you say she's
Right.
responsible for.
So the night in question is December 30th, not the beginning of December, beginning of November, end of November. That I didn't like her, she didn't like me, and all of a
Well,
sudden
you clearly,
but you clearly
didn't. Listen to me.
You don't need to lead up.
Listen
to
to
me.
me.
Just deal with the evening.
You clearly didn't. There wasn't probably one incident that brought it to a culmination back in December.
What difference does it make? We're talking about one incident that she's saying that this one incident, this argument that happened on the night in December is the reason why she packed her things and she left when I was not even on the premises.
Did
and
you
was
tell her to
calling
leave?
on the phone. I told her that I had, if it came down to it and the police came, that I had a copy of the lease and she would have to leave. Now, if she's brainless enough, excuse you, if she's brainless enough to think just because I have a copy of a lease that she has to leave or stay, you signed it.
Would you tell me again what you told her in that phone conversation? You had
Exactly
an
what
argument.
Exactly what I told her. She said, I suggest you don't come home this evening. I had a friend that was in from San Luis Obispo. I said, well, I suggest you go to Cindy's house. The other girl who was at her apartment, or our apartment, had answered the phone when this whole verbal dispute started. And after I said, well, I suggest you go to Cindy's. And she goes, well, I don't know if she said I'll call the police or what happened. And I said, well, I'll call the police myself. And if they comes down to it, I have a copy of the lease. So what?
So then you moved out.
Yeah, but that's not what I recall happening. What happened is that my friend Cindy came over. She was staying over that night because I was afraid to stay alone in this apartment with her. And
I wasn't even home that evening. I mean,
I came home, she wasn't home. And
so your friend
called.
Cindy was staying in the apartment?
Right. She was just there visiting. And she called me every nasty name you can imagine, accusing me of playing her messages, which I had no idea what she was talking about.
This was a phone conversation?
And so she was just screaming at me, calling me terrible things. She hangs up the phone, calls back. I let the machine get it because I wasn't going to talk to her, with her talking to me like that. And she left a message saying, you better move out or I'm having you arrested. You don't have a copy of the lease.
Well,
a few minutes later...
What difference does it matter if you have a copy of the lease or not? What difference does it make?
Okay, so you moved out.
Right. A few minutes later, the police arrived. They got a call from Manhattan Beach that there was a burglary in...
So the police arrived?
Brentwood, yes. And they heard her message.
You can't tell me you listen to me. You can't tell me what the police heard,
right.
But the police did arrive.
Yes, they did.
Did you move out that night?
Yes.
What are you suing her for?
I'm suing her because I feel that I'm entitled to my deposit back, and she also took a pair of pants of mine that were $200.
Just a minute, how much was your deposit?
$625. I have a copy of the check that I made to her.
What's next?
That's your mental disability.
Okay. Also, just court fees.
A case of roommates in conflict will continue in a moment. Before Jennifer Martinek and Shannon Olson became roommates, they were friends. Now, there's nothing but hate between them.
Now, you're countersuing for $1,850. For what?
Right. Jennifer moved in December 1st, signed a lease until February. Here's a copy of the lease with her signature.
I'd like to see it, please.
I'd also like to show that when I vacated, she had someone else.
Here's a letter from Ella Flynn, the owner, saying that she has not received delinquent rent of $1,150 from the owner. Here's a copy of my $1,250 security deposit, which I paid with a previous roommate. And here's a copy of my return check of $61 made out to Jennifer and myself because they took her unpaid rent of January and February and late fees totaling $1,130. Plus, I told her the reason why she paid me the deposit was because the girl before her also left without a 30-day notice. And I told her, if you leave without a 30-day notice, I could care less about what she paid the owner. I will keep this deposit to pay for the rent if you leave without giving me a 30-day notice to find another roommate. So if you add the $1,130 plus the $600, you're close to $1,700. And then Jennifer decided that she was so damaged by this phone call that your cable bill that you paid, she decided to stop payment on cable that she already watched. So I had
Did you stop payment on a
yes,
cable?
I was going to pay her a dime until I got my deposit back. And
how much was the check that you stopped the payment on?
The total charge was $54, $33 plus the $21 return check fee.
So what was the total?
$54.
Is that is that her half?
That's hers, $54.
Yes,
plus the 12 plus the unpaid rent. I'm not even including the phone bill, the gas, and the electricity that I had to pay all by myself. She decided not to pay.
Did Did
No.
she pay the gas and utilities for the time she was there?
No, because she moved before no, because she left January 1st, and those bills came for December right at that time. And
how much was her share of the utilities bills?
I didn't keep it. I mean, gas, electricity's
so you're not
small
sure.
compared to the 3 months of rent, 2 months of rent, the deposit, and the cable bill. It simply comes down to the fact that Jennifer signed a lease, and she
there's a very simple issue.
Right.
And listen to me. And the very simple issue in this case is she signed the lease, and whether I believe that you told her to leave.
Judge Judy rules in a moment.
Whether she had cause to believe your threat, you question her mental stability if she believed you when you said you were going to call the police and
Common
had a lease. You say it was a lack of common sense. However, I believe her when she said that night, either fortuitously or as a result of a phone call from you, the police did arrive at the premises. So I believe she exercised reasonable judgment in moving out.
Well,
so that's something that I have to resolve. I believe that you had this argument, and you told her that you were going to call the police. You did, in fact, call the police, and she left. So therefore, this lease is meaningless to me because the landlord, that's you, told her to move.
I'm not the landlord.
Yes, you are. You're her landlord. You are, in effect, her landlord if you have a lease that she signed, a lease to live with you for 3 months. And you're interrupting me. Now, she has $625 in a deposit. Did you pay December's rent?
Yes, I did.
Did she pay December's rent?
Yes.
And you moved out in January?
Yes.
And this $625 was just like a security deposit that you gave her, additional to the rent?
Yes.
The judgment of the court in this case is $625, less the $54 because you owe her for cable.
Well,
do you understand that? You owe her for cable. That's you say nothing. Now I rule. It's $571. Judgment in favor of the plaintiff, and the counterclaim is dismissed. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. Step out, please.
Yeah.
Parties on clock versus Benson. All parties on clock versus Benson. Step forward, please.
Lakeisha Benson needed a car. Her aunt helped her out. Now, Lakeisha has crashed the car, and she's trying to stick her Aunt Pamela with the bill.
Order. All rise. Order. Order. All rise, please. Judges number 49 on the calendar in the matter of Clark versus Benson. Be seated.
Ms. Clark.
Yes.
Defendant is your niece.
Yes.
And several years ago, she was in college and she was working. She came to you, according to your complaint, and said she needed a car, couldn't get the credit on her own, so you bought a car in your name for her.
That's correct.
With the understanding she was going to pay for it. And she paid for it for about 2 years. Then the car was totaled.
Yes.
And then she stopped making the payments.
Yes.
You assumed the payments.
Yes.
Destroyed your credit.
Yes.
All those bad things.
All those bad things.
And how much did you have to pay off on the car?
I paid a total of $7,214.29.
Why did you ask your aunt for help?
Because I had never purchased a car before. I needed somebody who had done so and who had great credit to co-sign.
And your aunt was the closest relative you had?
She was.
She was pretty nice to you.
She was very nice.
Well, so you paid her for a couple of years on the car, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
And then you had an accident.
Correct.
And then you didn't have the car anymore.
Correct.
And then you stopped paying her.
Well, the issue seems to me...
so far, is that right?
That's pretty close.
That's the issue.
That sounds to me perfectly right. Why don't you think you owe her the money?
Well, I never signed, I never made any oral agreements, any representations other than I would pay the car note and the insurance. And I did inform my aunt when I started having difficulty paying the insurance.
That is a lie. You never informed me of
that
anything.
That is a lie. In
when
fact,
you had an accident.
In fact,
let her finish.
Okay.
When the insurance was canceled, I received a cancellation notice of that. And if you'd like to see that.
I don't want to see it. I want you to tell me, why don't you think that you owe her the money? This was your car. You used it. You wrecked it. She ended up paying $7,200 for it.
I agreed to pay for it and use a car.
Your car.
How can I purchase a car? I never signed for it. I have every official document of the
you
car.
You knew that she purchased the car.
All in the name of my aunt. I drove the car, but I don't see it any more than
not your car.
A rental or a rental or a lease. It's my car because I drove it.
What do you do?
I'm a paralegal.
You're saying you have no integrity. That's what you're standing up and telling everyone.
This case is not about integrity.
Yes,
This
it
case
is.
is about my aunt, who I was in undergraduate school when this happened. I am now in law school. My financial circumstances have not changed, except that my loans that I've taken out have gone up tremendously. I do not have this surplus warehouse of money that she seems to think I do.
Well, yeah, but
And
this was
I'm
a
not-
pre-existing debt that you had. I mean, you decided to go to law school, which I think is a wonderful thing. You decided to become a professional person. You look like a lovely young woman, but let's talk about responsibility here. You know, if you want to be a lawyer, let me give you some advice. Let me give you some advice. The most important thing that you have as a lawyer, as a person, but most importantly as a lawyer, is integrity, responsibility, and a sense of right and wrong. Now, what we're talking about here is right and wrong. Your aunt, it seems to me, did you a favor. She was the closest relative you had. You were in difficulty. You said, I really need a car to get to school, to get to work. Help me out. She did that. She helped you out, and there's no question in my mind that if you had kept this car for the 5 years and paid your aunt, or paid her, and she went ahead and paid the credit place, wherever she got the car from, at the end of 5 years, the car would have been yours. You could have driven it, you could have sold it, you could have done whatever you, and you know that. So I'm still at a loss to figure out how someone who's in law school, supposed to be very keen on right and wrong, can say, I don't have any responsibility for this debt.
Judge Judy, I don't understand how somebody who has purchased cars and homes and all of these things before would go into an agreement of this sort and not protect herself.
Let me finish, please.
And not protect herself by putting anything in writing. I was just as...
You feel as if she has to protect herself from her niece? How old
I feel like
were you?
I have to protect myself. I don't have any... How did I know that after paying the car for 5 years that she wouldn't get the pink slip and say, sorry, return my car to me?
Miss
And
Benson.
evidently after today,
Come on.
I don't know.
A niece crashed the car that her aunt helped her buy. The case continues in a moment.
You used the car because you understood that she was doing you a big favor. Then you went to law school and got these buzzwords in your head, and all of a sudden decided, well, I'm really not responsible.
Lakeisha Benson needed a car. Her aunt helped her out. Now, Lakeisha has crashed the car and she's trying to stick her Aunt Pamela with the bill.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying that the way this whole situation arose, yes, my aunt was very gracious to help me out, but had I been thinking the way I'm thinking now, I would have never entered into any sort of agreement of this sort. It would never have happened. And at the same time, I don't think I was thinking clearly either, because I would have had her put something in writing that after paying the car for 5 years, I'd get the car back. So what I want you to see is that when I notified her of the insurance being canceled, as far as I'm concerned, she assumed the risk.
That is a lie.
I
A
asked her
total
if
lie.
she would add me to her household insurance. She told me, I don't want to be bothered with that.
Household
because
insurance?
Her
I'm
car
sorry.
insurance. She told me, I don't want my rates to go up. To me, that sounds like assumption of the risk.
The problem with first-year law students, you're in your first year of law school?
Second year of law school.
Well, you just finished your first year, so you have 1 full year of law school under your belt. So you've got all these buzzwords, assumption of risk, creating a responsibility by memorialize it in writing. I mean, you have all these things buzzing around with your head. What you've forgotten, Miss Benson, is right and wrong, and responsibility, and sense of family, and sense of honor. There's no question in this case. She did you a favor. She bought a car. She bought a car for you so that you would have a way of becoming what you are, which is a second-year law student. Probably without the investment that she made, you would have taken a lot of buses, a lot of trolley cars, done a lot of walking.
And I have done.
And done a lot of walking. I guarantee you didn't do that when you had her car for the first 2 years. You used the car because you understood that she was doing you a big favor. Then you went to law school and got these buzzwords in your head, and all of a sudden decided, well, I'm really not responsible. You are responsible. And I'm going to give you good advice. Your reputation stays with you forever. If you do anything early on in your career that is a negative, it takes you years, whatever the profession is, to crawl out of that. You're supposed to always do the right thing. If you don't do the right thing, it comes back and it bites you in the behind. The judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000, which is the most that I can award you. I know you still suffered a loss, but you certainly are entitled to your $5,000.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. Step out, please. I'll be back door to you.
I feel like it should have gone to Superior Court. Had it gone to the Superior Court, she wouldn't have won. Because I haven't signed anything, I haven't made any oral or written agreements, and that's why we're on TV.
I feel that it was very justified, and I had the judgment that I should have. It's a right and wrong issue, and there's no way that she could justify being wrong. And me trusting in her as my niece and trying to do something for her as a beautiful person who I saw as someone struggling to make life better for themselves. And then I got bit in the butt for it.
Jennifer Marciano loved Precious Jenkins so much, she gave him the money for a car. Then she discovered he was a married man. Now she wants a return on her investment.
You were dating Mr. Jenkins, according to your complaint, for about 8 months.
Yes, 10 of which he was married.
Well, you didn't know that at the
No,
time,
I did not know that.
And you didn't tell her?
No, I did not, because I was separated from my wife.
No, he
well,
wasn't.
But being married is something that you might want to tell somebody, especially when you, according to your complaint, went shopping for engagement rings. Did you do that?
This is true.
Yeah, it's your damn mind.
Oh, sir, you didn't take her shopping for a ring? Did you talk about getting married?
No, we did not. She talked one thing about moving to Montana.
That's a lie.
Listen, we're going to do this in an orderly fashion. All right? This is court. During this 8-month period, you needed a car.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he would be nice.
Yes.
And she lent you the money to buy a car, $1,500.
Yes, I have the cashier's check and bank statement.
He doesn't deny that you gave him the $1,500,
No,
do
I
you,
did
sir?
not deny, but it was not
And
a
you
loan.
gave her some money back,
$295.
So that she says you still owe her $1,205. She also says that she broke up with you. Why?
Because he's married and he has a child. Didn't tell me about it.
Is that when you broke up with him?
Yes.
So that's pretty straightforward. Dating, thought you were going to get married, he needed a car.
I loaned him the money.
Loaned him the money, found out he was married, said, give me my money back. So now we're coming to you. So I read your answer, and you have a very interesting answer. You say you don't owe her the money for 2 reasons. You want to tell me what they are?
Her father would get on her case all the time for driving from Simi Valley all the way to San Fernando Valley to see me back and forth. So in order to get her dad off of her butt, she went on and gave me the money to get a car, conveniencing myself and conveniencing her as well. 2 also of which, the day that everything went down and she found out about me and my wife getting back together, the following day, her and her father came into my job, causing a commotion, causing me to become fired.
That's not true.
It is too true. I can
Go
also.
ahead, I'm listening.
Okay, causing me to get fired. After that, I went on and sold the car, which I have the paperwork here for me selling the car. The day that I sold the car, I was robbed at gunpoint and told
What does
her.
that have to do with her?
I sold the car and got robbed. I have the police report and everything here from being robbed at gunpoint.
What does that have to do with her?
With that, what it has to do with it is 1, I don't owe her the money because she gave it to me, conveniencing both herself and mine. 2, I almost lost my life behind trying to give her money back.
Let me understand this. You say you don't owe her the money
Exactly.
because it was a gift.
It was a gift.
And if I don't believe it's a gift, then I should believe that she caused you to be fired from your job. And if I don't believe that, then you did, in fact, intend to give her the money back from the car when you sold it, but you got mugged and somebody else took the money. Are those the reasons that you have?
No.
You paid her $295, didn't you?
In the sense of me paying her $295, it was a day that went by that she told me not to tell anybody about her giving me the money, especially her parents, because she didn't want to come out looking like the white girl giving the black man money.
Judge Judy returns in a moment.
Where'd you get this money
That was
from?
a lie. My student savings from my college fund. I loaned him because he said, well, if I don't get the money, I'm going to go sell guns on the street making $5,000 a month so I can buy a car.
She discovered he was a married man. Now she wants her money back.
Am I correct, sir, that the only reason you stopped paying her the money is because you got mugged?
No, the only reason why I stopped paying her the money is 1, her father and her coming into my job caused me to lose my job. Searching for a job.
When was that? Just a second. When was it that she and her father came into
The
your
day that they
business?
took the pictures, as you see, the picture of this car right here is at the parking lot of my job.
Just a minute. When were you mugged? After that?
I was mugged on, what was the date on this paperwork?
I didn't ask you the date. I said, were you mugged after that, sir?
Yes, I was.
I'm going to read you from your answer, sir. You said, now I don't think I owe her any money because I almost lost my life trying to pay her the money the last time.
Trying to pay her money back.
Right. So after this incident happened, in your head, you still realized that you owed her the money.
I did not owe her the money. I was giving her money back so I wouldn't have anything to do with her.
Well,
The money that
that's
she
nice.
gave me.
That's nice. That's what you're supposed to do when somebody lends you money, sir.
It wasn't a loan. When you're dating, it's a gift. And after we broke up, it turned into a loan.
No.
Go ahead. Where'd you get this money
That was
from?
a lie. My student savings from my college fund, I loaned him because we were very close. I told him I was going to loan him the money because he said, well, if I don't get the money, I'm going to go sell guns on the street making $5,000 a month so I can buy a car, so I can pick you up and go out.
You back with your wife now, sir?
No, I'm not.
Go ahead. You wanted to say something?
Yes. I wanted to say that the first time I tried to have him served, I was notified by the LA County
Thank you.